I'd like to call the March 22nd, 2022 Board of Commissioners Business Meeting to order. Tonight, for our Pledge of Allegiance, we have Joe Amara, who will lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deanna, can you take the roll call, please?
Denise Hall, President.
Here.
Catherine Carter, Vice President. Here. Martha Similaro, Commissioner. Here. Liz McNaney, Commissioner.
Here.
Ruth Damsker, Commissioner.
Here.
Sandra Zedell, Township Manager. Megan Weaver, Assistant Township Manager.
Here.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor.
Here.
Nicholas Cross, Township Engineer.
here.
David Duffy, Chief of Police.
Here.
Nathan Crittenden, Finance Director. Here. E. Van Rieker, Zoning Officer.
Here.
Rebecca Mason, Director of Wastewater Operations. Here. John Inaranti, Sanitary Sewer Engineer.
Thanks, Deanna. Next up, we have the recognition.
I didn't hear John.
Oh, sorry.
Nick, is John here?
You're muted, John. You're muted.
Okay, so we know he's here, though. Sorry to cut you off, Dan. Is that everybody? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Tonight we have Joe Amaro joining us, and we are celebrating him for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. So Joe, if you could join us up front. Ladies, if we could meet him down there. Hear me, right? Should I hold it? Okay. Okay. Good eye, thank you, man. Okay. Okay, so this evening we are so excited to honor Joe O'Mara. I knew I was going to mess up your name, I'm sorry. Joe O'Mara is a resident of Upper Gwynedd, and he recently achieved the Eagle Scout rank in April of 2020 while being a member of the Upper Gwynedd Boy Scout Troop 303. Some interesting facts about Joe. Joe has always loved baseball. He's played 8 or 9 seasons of baseball with Norgwin. He's also enjoyed playing basketball, and he has worked as part of our summer staff at our Park and Rec department at the Township. Joe graduated from LaSalle College High School in 2020 and is currently attending Gwynedd Mercy College. His possible career interests include occupational therapy and business. Joe is a very friendly and easy to talk to type of person. He is often the first person to jump up and volunteer to lend a hand and sincerely cares about helping others. Both of Joe's grandfathers served in the U.S. military, and that has been a significant influence on Joe. He felt grateful to those who served in our armed forces. When Joe was looking for a potential Eagle project, he decided he wanted to express his thanks for those who served by giving back to them with his project. For his Eagle Scout project, Joe designed, organized, and led a project involving the solicitation and collection of personal care items and assembly of care packages for U.S. military members. His packages were delivered to the Willow Grove USO, where they were handed out to service members being deployed. Joe, on behalf of the Upper Gwynedd Township Board of Commissioners and staff, would like to present you with the certificate in recognition of your achievement in earning your Eagle Scout rank.
I see your dad beaming. I mean, you can tell right away. And we'd like to congratulate your family too, and your dad and your mom for everything that they've helped you with throughout the years to get to this far. It's a great family. I've known them a long time. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
See, Ruth and I have matching jackets on, so that's why we're standing together.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And they have a Boy Scout meeting to get to. That's how dedicated they are.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, sure. We're happy to have you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Good luck. Thank you very much.
I will turn it over to our solicitor, Lauren Gallagher, for the announcement of executive sessions.
We actually have no executive sessions to report this evening.
Thank you, Lauren. Next up, we have the public comment section of the meeting. We ask you to be respectful of our 5-minute limit. We also ask you to practice decorum, and remember that everything you say will be on the public record. We have a couple people registered. I know that some people came later, so I will remember to invite them to come up if they weren't able to sign ahead of time. Forgot to do that last week. Okay, first up, we have Fred Hankin of 802 Clover Drive, North Wales.
Just had a comment. Can you hear that okay?
Sounds quiet.
Okay, I'll speak louder if I need to.
Okay.
I asked this at the last meeting. I'm still trying to get an answer. I don't really understand this 5-minute rule. 2 instances come up. One was when Mr. Martin found out that his property might be condemned. He found out and drove down that day. By the time he got through 5 minutes of just talking and introducing himself, he was told that his 5 minutes was up before he even had a chance to say anything. And respectfully, he was allowed to continue, and we had discussion. And the other one, I know one of the commissioners sitting here years ago had discussions with the board, and that person wasn't told to sit down after 5 minutes. She was allowed to speak and if it got redundant at some point, but I mean, there was never a time limit given to anybody, so I'm not quite understanding why this now applies or why you're trying to impose.
We're just trying to be more efficient and
No, I
fair,
understand.
and fair with our meetings as well. It's very common practice. We checked other townships. It's something that's often suggested.
I guess that's my comment. We're not other townships. We're
Okay.
one-
Mr. Hankin, this has been in effect for a long
Yeah,
time.
but it was never, people were allowed to
Okay.
say what they had it.
Yeah.
And I'm not finger pointing, I'm just.
It's
saying
just-
people
it's-
had a chance.
Yeah, we're just trying to, like I said, we're trying to be fair to everybody. We're trying to be more efficient. And it's not such a hard, fast rule that I'm going to call the chief over if you go over 5 minutes,
I
right?
understand the school
But-
board. Everyone's saying the same things over and over. I
Right.
totally
Yeah.
understand that, but I mean, there's not the.
Yeah, it's just, it's really for organizational reasons.
Okay.
Okay? Did you have another comment this
No,
evening?
go ahead, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Next up, we have Tom Borneman of 722 Green Street, Lansdale.
I'm Tom Borneman, 722 Green Street.
Hi, Tom.
Hello. Any argument that this township, this board in this township has somehow that is not compliant with the Fair Housing Act is not accurate. Township has previously approved the village at Gwynedd, the woods at Gwynedd, Stonegate, Samantha Court, Gwynedd Club, Pembroke Gardens, Station Square. The market value of these locations is a testament to the desirability of the people of Upper Gwynedd Township. I'm wondering, why does this board want to continually seek out high-density housing?
You're talking about Pembroke again? Are you referring to Pembroke?
Pembroke.
Yeah. So I'm just going to remind you that we are at the very beginning stages. We're still at the very beginning stages. We're still talking about that. There still will be many meetings about that. That's one point I just wanted to share with you. The other thing I wanted to share with you, just to give you a heads up, is actually we did require them to not change the density. So they actually, and again, very preliminary, so none of this has been approved, we're still talking about it. But their initial proposals are within the density that is required by that zoning. They have not changed the density at all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Dan Wallace of 848 Girard Avenue.
Thank you. I want to speak on item number 15, the firehouse project.
Okay,
And I could hold the comments until you ask for them after the commissioners have their.
well, since you're up here and you signed up, it's okay, you can make the
Right, but
comment now.
I want to support the signing of the letter of intent for the firehouse, okay? I think it's
Okay.
a good idea. And also want to make a comment on where I saw Eric Geiger's presentation about the location of the fire hall. And in my opinion, I think it should be located at Sunnytown Pike and Allentown Road, across from the Merck entrance. So I
Okay.
can make some comments later after I hear your discussion, but that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Dan. Does anyone else want to?
Just a follow-up, what is the density now for that property over on Pembroke?
I don't have that number right in front of me right now. Thanks, Fred. Anyone else like to make a public comment tonight who wasn't here to sign up? No? Okay, great. Moving on. Our first motion of the night is to approve our consent items listed under agenda item number 7. As with all of our agenda items, you can click on any of the blue hyperlinks and have access to additional information about each topic listed in case you weren't aware of that. Do we have a motion to approve consent items A through I?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Similaro, Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up is a resolution to declare April 3rd through the 9th of 2022 National Library Week. I would like to call up one of North Wales Library's board members, Jocelyn Tenney, who is an active member of our community and a big advocate for our local library. Jocelyn, you want to come up? Oh, I just thought, because you wanted to make some comments, right? Sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm here because Jane Blackledge, our director, is participating in one of our activities today and could not be here. But I do want to say thank you so much for this resolution. It's a time to celebrate our libraries across the nation, and we do appreciate all the support that we do get from Upper Gwynedd. I also want to say on April 9th, which is, again, during the week of Library Week, we are going to have our human library start. And it sounds strange, I understand, but it's an opportunity for people who have different perspectives, different lifestyles, different lives. And you can come to the library on April 9th and find out what some of their expertise and some of their lives are. And you can not offer, but you can take out one of the human books to sit for a half hour and have a conversation. Now, the whole point is to address diversity, to get to understand people, and have a mutual respect on both sides. And when you go on the 9th, you'll be able to see the different and varied backgrounds of the community members who have agreed to participate. I just do want to say that the library also received a state grant to fix our roof. we have to have a match for it. And so we've been accumulating money for the match. And we are also received another grant from the visiting nurses for an AED in the library. One of our members, newer members, noticed that we never had one, and he felt it was very important that we do. And lastly, our book sale is in May. I'm in charge, and to be perfectly honest, I need books. This is the first year where we have not been overloaded with books that people have finished reading and, don't want around their houses. So any donations can be just brought right to the library anytime it's open.
Right.
And again, we do so sincerely appreciate all your support. It's made, a library a good place for our communities.
Thank you. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you so much.
Jocelyn, just a couple questions. What time on the 9th is the Human Library?
It's going to be 11 to 4.
Okay. And Sandra or Megan, with their need for books, is that something we could add to our weekly newsletter in the Gazette that's saying that the library's requested?
Oh, thank you. It would be much appreciated. And when people who do come to the Human Library, there will be a listing of each person and their backgrounds and something they would be willing to talk about. You can also get more information on the library website under Human Library. It does have a list there also, not specifically who the person is, but the different kinds of backgrounds that you might be interested in talking to somebody about. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jocelyn. So I'm going to read the resolution before we pass it because it brings up some important reminders about our local library. Whereas today's libraries are less about what they have on shelves and more about what they can do with and for their communities, libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions where people of all ages, interests, and backgrounds can come together and learn alongside one another. Libraries of all types are at the heart of their cities, towns, schools, and campuses. Libraries offer members of the community a welcoming space and opportunities to explore new passions through technology, programs, and services. Libraries and librarians help patrons to find tools to help improve the quality of their life. Libraries, which promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all, are cornerstones of democracy. Libraries strive to develop and maintain programs and collections that are as diverse as the populations they serve. Libraries and librarians work to create an equitable society by providing free access to accurate information to all people. Libraries are a resource for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, by offering services and educational programming that transform lives and strengthen communities. Libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved this 22nd day of March 2022 that I, Denise M. Hull, President of the Board of Commissioners, on behalf of the Township Board of Commissioners, proclaim National Library Week, April 3rd through the 9th, 2022. During this time, we encourage all residents to connect with your library and visit the North Wales Area Library, a place where we can all belong and discover who we are because of you. Libraries transform. Sincerely, the Upper Gwynedd Township Board of Commissioners. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution 05-2022, recognizing April 3rd through 9th, 2022 as National Library Week?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously.
Commissioner Hull, hi, it's Sandra.
Hi.
I wondered if Jocelyn could tell me a couple facts about the book sale so that I can include it in the newsletter, like when and where books be dropped off
Sure.
and until what date.
Jocelyn, can you come to the mic? Otherwise, they won't be able to hear you virtually.
Oh, that's not working? Yeah. Okay. They can be dropped off at the library during library hours, and just brought to the front desk. And then they'll be put in the back where we go through them and sort them and get them ready for the sale.
Is-
Did you say the dates for that?
I'm sorry?
The dates that you'll be
Oh,
collecting
I
now?
apologize, yes.
Yeah.
The actual date is Friday, the 13th and to the 14th.
And you'll be collecting them now until then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any books that you do not accept? I'm sorry, Jocelyn, are there any books you do not accept? I mean,
Well,
as far as
books
like,
and,
well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
yes, we cannot use like National Geographic, Smithsonian, something like that. We do sometimes get travel books, but oftentimes they're very old in terms of when was the last time you might have
Especially
traveled
with
there.
COVID, yeah, people
Yeah,
weren't traveling.
nobody's been traveling. And also any books that are in bad shape. Occasionally, we do get some where they've been put away and you can smell a mustiness on them, and unfortunately, we can't use them. But we do store them for a while, obviously, before the date of the sale. We've been doing that because of COVID.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Jocelyn. Next up, we have the motion to approve the allocating of funds for the underground storage tank project. This item was budgeted for 2021, but because of supply chain issues, we thought it would have to wait until 2023. Luckily, they recently found a tank for us, so we are going to transfer the money for it from our general fund reserve, which is where we were holding the money for this project, to our current budget. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution 04-2022, allocating funds for the underground storage tank project in the amount of $240,198 via transfer from the general fund reserve?
So moved.
We have some motions. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have a motion to approve the allocating funds for projects related to the WIP diversion project. Sandra did an in-depth presentation all about this at our last meeting. Do we have a motion to approve Resolution 09-2022, allocating funds for projects related to the WIP diversion? Do we have a motion? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have the motion to approve the temporary telecommuting policy. This is in addition to our non-uniform employee handbook. The policy defines the regulations for working from home and only allows a maximum of 1 day per week. Do we have a motion to approve the temporary telecommuting policy?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Fred, please come to the microphone.
Just real quick. What's temporary mean? Is it 1 day a week? Is that what temporary means, or is it like it for 6 months, or the policy itself? It's a policy, forever, but it's temporary for the employees to have 1 day and 4 days on.
Sandra, what does the adjective temporary specifically mean in this context?
That was my question. Thank you.
Yes. Sandra?
Sure. So, yeah, hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
It's so hard being on like this, but hi, Fred. The point of temporary was to put that in the policy was so that the employees know that it's like a temporary allowance that could be ceased at any time at the township manager's discretion. So, and it does just apply to once per week if approved by the department head and the township manager.
So it's continuous, which is fine. I was trying to
Right, but it's also not set in stone. That word kind of covers all that. Okay.
Yeah, the point is we wanted to allow flexibility for the administration or management, myself, to be able to manage this program.
Okay, thanks,
The
Sandra.
policy will go into our personnel manual.
Thanks, Sandra. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have the motion to approve the non-uniform overtime policy. Under this new policy, if any of our employees get called in for overtime for any amount of time under 2 hours, they will be paid for 2 hours. Do we have a motion to approve the non-uniform overtime policy?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have the motion to approve the 36-month service agreement with Republic Services for Waste Management Services in the amount of $628 per month from the general fund with an allowable 3% annual increase in cost for services. For this agenda item, I'm going to turn it over to our new financial director, Nate Crittenden, who's going to tell us a little bit about this item. Thanks, Nate, for coming up.
Thank you, Denise. So we took a look at some of our vendors that we deal with and taking a look at some of the contracts that we have as compared to historically what we've spent. And a lot of these contracts that were set in place, you do have that allowable 3% increase or 4% increase. When we took a look at it, we took a look at it and addressed or spoke to a few of our vendors to say, hey, what can we do about this pricing? Originally, Republic came back with a lower pricing as compared to some of the townships that surround us. One of the young ladies that works in my office, Kelly, she's amazing. She did a great job with this. She says, hey, I think we can do a little bit better. No problem. Let's go after him again. She was able to get him down to $628. Originally, we were spending $4,000 a month on this. So this is quite a significant savings. The township's looking at, saving upwards of $25,000, $27,000 a year for this service. So we are looking to do this continuously with other vendors. We just recently got Home Depot to agree to 2% less pricing for the township whenever we need. So we're looking at all of our vendors, all of our pricing, just to make sure we're doing our best by the taxpayers as we are stewards of the tax dollar.
Thank you, Nate.
No problem.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes,
can I say a few words? I just
please.
want to congratulate Nate and Kelly Luby, who worked on this project, and tell them thank you. They worked very hard and are intent on getting the best deal for the township, no matter what. So I really appreciate that as a township manager. I'm sure all the residents and the board do as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the 36-month service agreement with Republic Services for Waste Management Services in the amount of $628 per month from the general fund with an allowable 3% annual increase in cost for services? Motion to ratify the authorization for the solicitor to sign on to the oh, okay, I'm reading the next one that my computer jumped on. Sorry about that. Do I have a motion to approve the 36-month service agreement with Republic Services for Waste Management Services in the amount of $628 per month from the general fund with an allowable 3% annual increase in cost for services? Sorry about that.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have a motion to ratify the authorization for the solicitor to sign onto the Amicus brief on behalf of the township. And for this agenda item, I'm going to turn it over to our solicitor, Lauren Gallagher, to explain a little.
Thank you, President Hull. This is related to a matter, the township was approached by the city of Philadelphia to see whether there was interest in joining the city of Philadelphia as an amicus entity in a brief that they are currently litigating in front of the Commonwealth Court involving the Uniform Firearms Act. The board because there was a deadline for this of March 16th, the board did authorize us to do this, so this is a ratification of that authorization. And we are just signing on to the amicus brief. There's not going to be any separate brief coming from the township on this.
Okay. Do we have a motion to ratify the authorization for the solicitor to sign on to the amicus brief on behalf of the township? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Carter.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm not there present. Under public safety, we have 3 motions. The first motion is a motion to approve signing the GCL GS letter of intent for the firehouse project. As you know, we were all here last week where Chief Geiger went over everything quite elaborately in his PowerPoint presentation, answering all questions. So right now they're asking for a letter of intent to be signed off by the Board of Commissioners to move forward with the firehouse project, to get into studies and find out what is the best solution. So again, motion to approve the signing of the GCL DS letter of intent for the firehouse project.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Our second motion is a motion to approve the MOU dated, February 15th, 2022, between Upper Gwynedd Township and the Upper Gwynedd Police Association Employee 0025.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Our last motion under public safety, motion to approve the purchase of a 2022 Ford Explorer for emergency use by the Deputy Fire Marshal in the amount of $38,673 via CoStarz.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney, Commissioner Similaro, Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner Carter. Hope you feel better. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Damsker.
Good evening, everyone. Under 18 on the agenda is a motion to authorize the advertisement of Ordinance 2022-01, amending Chapter 169, which is a subdivision and land development, Section 23 concerning sidewalks. And the township is looking to amend Chapter 168, Section 23 sidewalks of our code. Our current code allows that sidewalks will be provided where required, except in areas where the Board of Commissioners determine that it's unnecessary for public safety and convenience. The proposed ordinance was reviewed and recommended by the Upper Gwynedd Township Planning Commission at their February 9th, 2022 meeting. The ordinance has also been reviewed by the Montgomery County Planning Commission and incorporates the Montgomery County Planning Commission's recommendation to include ADA curb ramps. So I am asking for a motion to authorize the advertisement. This is just authorizing the advertisement of the ordinance 2022-01 and amending the chapter 169 subdivision and land development, section 23 on sidewalks.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner Damsker. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner McNaney.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is item number 19, which is a motion to authorize the advertisement for the bid of equipment rental with labor for various stormwater projects. This will have no budget impact for this year, so I'm making a motion to authorize the advertisement.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
So the next item is item number 20. And Sandra, you got me all worked up with having to say what we're purchasing because you said it was quite the mouthful the last time, so I'm going to do my best for you. It's a motion to approve the purchase of a uniloader with skid steer, see, I messed it up, skid steer saw through CoStars for the Public Works Department in the amount of $85,000. And this would be a roll call vote, so I make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter. Aye. Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo. Aye. Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next on the agenda, item number 21, is a motion to approve the purchase of a Gator and hopper for the Parks and Rec Department in the amount of $4,000, I can't see it, I'm sorry. Here, I'll blow it up on here. For the amount of, it sucks getting old, $30,406.36 via CoStars. So I'm making a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter. Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo. Aye. Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next on the agenda, item number 22, is a motion to approve the purchase of a utility vehicle and snow maintenance attachment for the Parks and Rec Department in the amount of $24,683.92 via CoStars. This would help pave the parks during snowstorms, which I know, not so much this year, but last year, it was really nice to have a safe place to walk during the snow when they would be able to do that. And it was labor intensive, as I recall, 2 winters ago for Parks and Rec to do it, but they did it. And I know we got a lot of positive feedback about the paths being clear so people could still get out and get some exercise. So with that, I make a motion to approve the purchase.
This is for next year, not for this year, right? We're not going to have another snowstorm in April. You're not trying to say that?
Actually, I did see something that might not be over.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
We don't say that word.
All right. Sorry. Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter. Aye. Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo. Aye. Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner McNaney. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Simularo.
Thanks, Denise, and good evening, everyone. Sorry I can't be there in person tonight. We have 3 motions tonight, and they will all require a roll call vote. The first motion is to approve the purchase of a new chlorine tank in the amount of $33,000 via CoStarz.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall?
Aye.
Vice President Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney?
Aye.
Commissioner Damsker?
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
The next motion is to approve change order number 16 for the hydraulic expansion project at the wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $171,500 for the removal and replacement of biomag piping, which presently is galvanized piping, which has corroded on the inside, and we're replacing it with PVC piping because the corroded galvanized piping basically restricts the flow, which becomes an issue. So I'd like to make a motion to approve that change order.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments?
I do. Rebecca,
Two board comments.
did she get that? Did she get that right, Rebecca, with her? Yeah, I saw you listening, and Martha, you get a thumbs up for your explanation of this. So good job.
Sandra.
Yes, hey.
These three items are what you went over last week during the PowerPoint presentation.
Actually, no, item 23 is just a regular, project that is planned. It actually wasn't in this year's budget, but Rebecca had additional capital funding, so that's a project that she wanted to get done. The dumpster there, item 25 was budgeted. Item 24 is part of WIP 2.0, which is what I did the PowerPoint on last week. Is that right, Rebecca?
He says yes.
Okay. Is that all, Commissioner Carter?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Go ahead, Martha. Thank you.
Okay. Our third motion is to approve the sole source purchase of a dumpster conveyor trolley parts in the amount of $65,000.
We didn't approve it.
Oh, no, we didn't approve it. No, actually, did we have a motion from Martha? Sorry, everybody. I think I dropped the ball on this. Okay, sorry, I dropped the ball then. So let's go. Oh, we stopped at the board comments. I really dropped the ball on that one. Woo, okay. Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall?
Aye.
Vice President Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney?
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo?
Aye.
Commissioner Damsker?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And our last motion is to approve the sole source purchase of a dumpster conveyor trolley parts in the amount of $65,000.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall?
Aye.
Vice President Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney?
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo?
Aye.
Commissioner Damsker?
Aye. Can I ask where that dumpster is going to be? Does anybody know?
So the dumpster currently exists. What it is it's the conveyor system that moves the dumpster in the building. So as we fill the dumpster, it has to be moved. And this dumpster is about the size of a tractor trailer, so we need the trolley system to move it. We can't move it any other way. So the wheels on it are stainless or are steel, and they've now corroded. They're seized. It no longer moves. So we're actually hooking chains to it and pulling it. Not very safe. So we need stainless steel wheels in order to keep it moving, and stainless steel is corrosion resistant in that environment. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, thank you, Martha.
Thank you.
Moving on, do we have a motion to approve the March 2022 open invoices? Do we have a motion? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall?
Aye.
Vice President Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo,
Aye.
Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have the paid invoices. Do we have a motion to approve the March 2022 paid invoices?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do the roll call?
President Hall,
Aye.
Vice President Carter,
Roy, aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Simularo,
Aye.
Commissioner Damsker.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Do any board members have anything else this evening? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your patience tonight with all of our snafus. Have a great evening. Meeting adjourned.